Howdy, everybody. So today we're going to talk briefly, it's kind of a mini lecture on the Battle of Hampton Roads. So in the Civil War video, you saw the 7 days battle where McClellan tried to march an army up the peninsula. Well, in order to get to that peninsula, you have the Battle of Hampton Roads. So you have to have this naval battle before the Union Army can try to capture Richmond. So the Battle of Hampton Roads is important not just because it's part of a bigger campaign, but it's because of what type of ships are battling it out. So you can kind of see this picture a little blurry, but you have two new types of ships. These are ironclad ships. So I'll have better pictures in a second. So the CSS Merrimack, the Confederate state ship. So this was an old school wooden ship that they kind of dismantled and re-put back together with this iron hull. They had a bunch of cannons, 4 or 5 cannons on each side, and a smokestack in the middle. And they did it right at the water line, so whenever you shot at it, the side was sloped, so if it hit, it would just kind of ricochet off. And anything else would either hit the water and slow down, or would kind of just skip across and not really hit it. Now, the Merrimack was positioned for the Confederacy to defend basically the access point to Richmond, the access point to the Virginia Peninsula. So the Merrimack could basically just decimate any and all Union ships coming at it, because the first wave of ships that arrived to attack this position at Hampton Roads were all wooden-based ships. So when they arrived, they could shoot at the Merrimack, but it just bounced off. But the Merrimack could shoot back and just sink every ship that came. So either the ships had to retreat or it sunk all ships that came at it. And this was until the next day, when a new ship arrived, the USS Monitor. Now, the Monitor looks a little different. I'll have a picture of that in a second. But basically, the Monitor and the Merrimack just chased each other forever. So they were there for 3 or 4 hours just duking it out. The problem was they're both ironclads, and they designed their armor to withstand the cannons of the day. So the cannons could hit it, basically put a ding in it, and then they would just bounce off. These cannons hadn't been designed to punch through armor. They'd been designed to punch through wood. We hadn't developed powerful enough cannon technology to rip through ironclads. So instead, these two just chased each other for hours. Finally, the Merrimack has some technical trouble and is forced to retreat and basically runs aground. And they have to scuttle the ship so the Union can't get it. So, out of just sheer endurance, the Monitor wins. So here's the picture of the two ships fighting. So you can kind of see the two different styles. So the Confederacy went with more cannons and a bigger surface above the water. The Monitor, the Union ship, basically only had 2 cannons in this kind of revolving turret right here in the middle of the ship. Then this little box at the front of it was a lookout to kind of see where you're going. Now, each was very well armored, and basically they're just bouncing cannonballs off of each other. But now picture yourself as a soldier inside one of these ships. So you don't really have much hearing protection. You might have a little cotton in your ear, but you're inside of a giant metal box firing cannons. So I don't know if you've ever heard a cannon, but picture the biggest, loudest boom you've heard and put inside of a metal box. And yeah, by the end of this battle, almost every sailor in these ships had gone deaf to a certain degree. Their eardrums had been ruptured, blood was pouring out of their ear. They were alive, which I guess is a good thing because their ship was defended, but the trauma to their bodies was pretty severe nonetheless, particularly to their hearing. Now, because of the success of the Monitor, because it technically won, it was able to win the battle, and the invasion was able to proceed, the Monitor became a very popular design around the world. So you can kind of see a cross-section of what the Monitor was. It's a very small ship in all reality. It has the engine room, cannon area to reload the cannons, and that's about it. A few crew members, but this style of ship is going to be copied all around the world And it's going to be kind of the foundation of iron-style ships for a while. Now, the problem with the Monitor is while it's heavily defended, if you take it out into open waters, take it away from the coast too far, it capsizes very easily. So it's not an ocean-going ship, but it's great at coastal defense. It'll be a few more years, another decade or two, before we get the large, full ironclad ships like we see today in the Navy, which are like the big battleships, where it's just one giant iron ship floating out there. But that's the Battle of Hampton Roads. So just kind of this interesting little piece of technology and military history. We'll stop there for today.